Good morning, everyone, and welcome into this next week. Um, I am really surprised at how the energy is building in and for our tribe. So I'm really excited about this week's community updates. Especially warm welcome to anyone who has newly joined the Warrior of Peace tribe. I think that you will find that this is a warm and uplifting and heartening place to be and to engage. So you're also very much encouraged to engage with the comments of others. It's a great way for us to build community. So part of the culture that we've been developing here is invoking the violet flame every week. And this is a way of transmuting lower dense energies like anger and fear and oppression and transmuting them into lighter frequencies like joy and love, and gratitude, which obviously the higher frequencies is the best place to be able to create change in our world. And of course, just to enjoy our lives because this life was meant to be enjoyed. So let's invoke the violet flame for our tribe and our work in the world for this week. And the violet flame invocation that I've chosen for this week is the Cosmic Diamond Violet Flame Affirmation by Diana Cooper. So if you have an amethyst, you can grab your amethyst. And if you don't have an amethyst, that's fine too. And so let's say this 3 times. I am the cosmic diamond violet flame. I am the flame of mercy. I am the flame of joy. I am the flame of oneness. I am Saint Germain. I am Archangel Gabriel. I am Archangel Zadkiel. I am the cosmic diamond violet flame. I am the flame of mercy. I am the flame of joy. I am the flame of oneness. I am Saint Germain. I am Archangel Gabriel. I am Archangel Zadkiel. I am the cosmic diamond violet flame. I am the flame of mercy. I am the flame of joy. I am the flame of oneness. I am Saint Germain. I'm Archangel Gabriel. I'm Archangel Zadkiel. Thank you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, a great way to begin our week. And so, in terms of community updates, we had an absolutely mind-blowing community event on Sunday um, called Stand in Your Power. And thank you to everybody who came out live, and thank you to everybody who has already done the replay. An important step for our community as I shared guidance based on my justice activism in 2018 that was extremely successful. So I brought out some pearls of wisdom from that. And I also gave an inner hero activation that was very powerful. People said that they experienced it in a very powerful way. Um, people posted things like, what a blessing, may all be blessed. Somebody emailed me after the program and she said, Stand in Your Power was terrific. I'll savor the effects for a long time. Your energy and intent is just beautiful. I think that the most powerful influence to our evolution is to see and experience the living examples of this divinely developed consciousness. Thank you for being that. And thank you for inviting us to step into this next level self that really is the truth in each of us and all of us collectively. So it was an incredibly powerful experience. And I brought in, invited in, and was supported by 2 very key volunteers that worked with me in Buddhist Project Sunshine in 2018 with the justice activism. So they were there at the event. And one of them posted during my presentation, what you haven't mentioned, Andrea, is how important it was that you dealt so powerfully with the terrible backlash that you had to endure from some people in the community. And you did this so strongly. And so, maybe just to mention that, just to maybe enhance what I presented on Sunday is that yes, when you are shining your light brightly, um, there are some people who have a an investment in keeping things dark. Those people in power, they have a vested interest in keeping things dark. And so incredible backlash. But then there's also people who are just used to things being the dysfunctional way and they want to keep it that way, more ordinary people. And they can come with incredible um, vindictiveness and attacking as well. And I think that we're seeing that in the current climate. Trump supporters, they like they're, some of them are, really even violent. So, in order to deal with that backlash, when we are warriors of peace, warriors of light, we do have to have a very strong foundation in order to be able to endure that and to continue beaming out that light. So, big appreciation. If you missed the event, you can actually still access the replay. And I have encoded the empowerment into the replay. So I'll include a link below. So if you want to grab that, you can. And so just some other community updates. In June, I'm going to be hiring a YouTube SEO company. I interviewed them, felt really comfortable with their integrity and their approach. So they will be helping to spiff up my YouTube presence. So I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but I'm communicating to them the quality of people in this tribe and that those are the people that we are wanting to attract. So we'll see what they are able to do for being able to bring the messages of these videos out to more people like you. So there may be some visible changes, I'm not sure, in June. That's something to look forward to. And also, I am going to be conducting another community survey in June. So I did the first one in January, and it was so helpful. I think it was 33 people responded, and I was able to understand better what people in the community are looking for. So I realize that needs are changing, and so I think it's time to conduct another survey, and I hope that even more people will participate. It'll be quick, and it'll be an opportunity for you to share with me about your realities and what would be most helpful for you, because this needs to be a two-way dialogue. I need to understand what you're going through so that I'm able to bring through what will be most helpful for you. I will be doing my next spiritual retreat next week, May 24th through the 30th. And during that retreat, I will be specifically becoming familiar with a new Manjushri Sarasvati practice that I received the empowerment for a couple of weeks ago from John. So I will be studying it and practicing it and immersing myself in it and just integrating that. So looking forward to that week. And then when I come out of my retreat the following week, we will be beginning the second Warrior of Peace 1 month program. So this is going to be another very, very inexpensive powerful group experience where we will be focusing on gift empowerment. So a lot of people have been talking to me about saying, that they know that they feel a deep need to contribute to what's going on and they're not sure how to contribute. So I think a lot of people by default, they're attending protests, but people are telling me, I feel like I have more to give than just attending protests. So I'm going to be offering this 30-day program, Gift Empowerment. It's going to be fun. It's going to be light. It will involve once a week a live Q&A with me where you will be able to ask me on the ground questions and I will be able to offer my responses, which in the past programs, people have been finding these Q&A calls extremely helpful, very deep, very powerful, very transformative. And so in addition to one live Q&A call a week, I will be offering you a very fun home play, which you get to do on your own time. It's a guided home play. I've prepared an audio and a wonderful, beautiful program book where you will get to have a delightful experience. Like people have been telling me what a delightful experience it is to do my home plays. One person, even on Sunday, said that she so enjoyed doing it in the evening before going to bed, that it was so calming to hear my voice and to hear the beautiful music that I had chosen for the background for the home play. So it was a very enjoyable experience to do at the end of the day. So the home play will be around an hour every week as well. So 1 hour Q&A, 1 hour home play that you get to do in your own time. And as well, the Q&A will be recorded. So if you can't make the Q&A, you can still listen to the replay. And if you email me questions beforehand, I'll answer your questions in the Q&A. So basically, it's very accessible. It's very easy to engage and it will be so helpful because really my expertise is on helping people to discern what their unique gifts are. And it's not a left brain thing, it's a right brain thing to really to understand the fullness of what your gifts are. So a little bit of art is involved with this in order to access those gifts of the right brain. And you don't have to be an artist. Very easy to do. Just simply accessing that creativity of the right brain that has a much bigger perspective on who you are and access what your gifts are. And then I will be guiding you week by week in how to talk about your gifts and who are the people that you specifically can best serve. So, really identifying who your ideal people to help are, and also actually creating an elevator speech. So, in 60 seconds, being able to explain in a really heartfelt, compelling way what it is that you do that will really reach the hearts of those people that you can help. So it's going to be a wonderful program, and I'm so excited to be offering it. And that will be beginning in the first week of June. The first Q&A call will be on June the 8th. And I'm really looking forward to working with a group of beautiful people just like you who are warm and kind and, want that community connection and to be able to really to nurture and bring forward what their gifts are to help this world. Because honestly, this world needs each of us to be accessing our gifts, not playing small, not just doing what the masses are doing, but taking that time to look at who you are and what is that special light that you really chose to bring into this life. Now is the time for you to access that light and to bring it forward. So the Warrior of Peace Gift Empowerment is going to be a wonderful support for you to be able to do that. So I do have I have a very interesting personal update to give this week. The smile and this is because it's a little uncomfortable, but I do feel like it will be helpful to give this update. So if you can bear with me as I bear with myself and maybe, my a little bit like, ooh, that's a little bit vulnerable, then I think I'm going to share an update that you'll probably find very helpful as an example of something that perhaps you might do. Um, but before that, I would like to thank the wonderful souls who are participating in the 1111 Peace Prayer Wave, the prayer initiative of our community. I am just so enjoying and appreciating that we are doing this daily prayer work together. and I'll include the link below for anyone else that might like to try joining us for a day. It's in your own time. You just simply connect in through the Peace Prayer Wave page. I also would like to really, from my heart, thank those who have joined with me as sponsors for these videos. So I'd like to thank the sponsors for this week's and next week's videos, because I will be preparing a video or two for next week. So these are people who are contributing on my Patreon page, and I so appreciate that connection that we have with each other. It is a relationship, and it's a connection, and I really appreciate you for engaging with me in that connection. So thank you to AM, BH, CG, CM, DC, EK, JC, JG, JK, and TE. And I would like to thank MW for her $200 donation for 2025 and AF for mailing me $20 in a beautiful handmade card. So, personal updates. Okay, so first the easier update, just the home update. So I have come to realize that my move really took more out of me than I expected or realized. So it really just felt like, a plant being pulled out of the soil and moving to other soil. And it took more than I anticipated for beginning to, sink my roots down into this new land and this new home. But I am feeling more settling in now. And I really have to say, I love my home. I love the apartment. I love my balcony. Looking to my right, I can see the ocean. Looking to my left, I can see the forest. And also, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but the day that John gave me the empowerment, which would have been the Monday before this Monday, two deer came out and they hung outside my door for about an hour. One of them was munching, eating things off the bushes. The other one just laid down into the grass and just laid there in the sun, obviously really enjoying herself. So it was two female deer, and they stayed around for about an hour. And how delightful that was to have that just outside my balcony in this little nature um, wild area that's just outside my balcony that many of you would have seen in the picture that I shared a few weeks ago. So I am loving that, and I'm loving exploring the nature area that is like a 3-minute walk from my door to be out in the woods. I've been exploring in different directions. On the weekend, I discovered that there's a lake that's about 20 minutes through the woods, then a trail. Um, and the trail is called the Cabin Lake Trail. So I'm assuming that the name of this lake is Cabin Lake. And then a couple of days ago, I was going in another direction and I found this pond. So the pond is right in this wooded area, and there was a duck that was walking up a path from the pond. So I'm just really enjoying exploring this place. And also, I have this beautiful plan to be camping and sleeping in a tent during my retreat. So I've selected a nice place. I've cleared brush from the place. I didn't have an air mattress, so I have shopped around and I've purchased an air mattress. I've got all the other equipment that I need. I'm not planning to have a fire there. I don't know that that would be allowed. So my plan is just to spend most of my time out there, to come home in the morning, take a shower, prepare my breakfast, and then go back out there. And then in the afternoon, I will be coming back for a little hour and a half work session, working on my home, because now it's time to put wall hangings up. So I'll have a little work session working on my home and prepare my supper and then head back out to the tent. So I'm planning to be electronics free out at the tent area. And also in the mornings out there, that's when I'll be studying the new Manjushri and Sarasvati practice and doing the practice out in the woods. I think it'll be a really lovely way to connect with this practice. I already have such a strong connection with Manjushri and such a strong connection with Sarasvati, and to be bringing that in to this practice of the union of them together, and also the special qualities of red Manjushri and blue Sarasvati, because I'm familiar with sort of a more golden form of Manjushri and a white form of Sarasvati individually. So new colors, which of course have different energies, and also them in union. And it's going to be, I think, just a really beautiful experience. And I look forward to bringing all the empowerment and the grounding and the joy that I develop in my retreat. I really look forward to bringing that out to you when I emerge from retreat and to the gift empowerment program. And yeah, I really hope that a good group of you will be joining me for the Gift Empowerment Program, because it's such a wonderful time when we can be developing closer relationship with each other. And also you're able to develop relationship with others in the tribe. So yeah, I warmly welcome you to join me for the Gift Empowerment journey in June. So the experience that I like has been going back and forth the last couple of days about sharing, I've decided to take a risk and to share this experience with you. So it is in one of the more vulnerable areas of my life, which was having to do with the twin flame relationship that I was in for 2 years. I actually didn't know anything about twin flames before being in the relationship. It was not something that I was seeking. And I think that for the most part, people don't know about twin flame relationships. So just, the highlight is just that it's it's like a love relationship on steroids. Just the deepest kind of love and an intensity that evokes sort of like hidden gifts, hidden talents in you. And it also, they're known to be extremely triggering. And of course, if you have the skills to deal with triggers, then that's an opportunity to do just amazing healing, because this person has this ability to be triggering those deepest parts of you. So it's like an ordinary love relationship on steroids, and you only have one twin flame, and you normally have had many past lives together. So I had the great good fortune of actually meeting my twin flame in this life. And we were in relationship for 2 years. And then a big trigger happened. And um, all to say that she got lost in her trigger. And it was impossible to be able to work with her through what was happening, because um, basically she was seeing me as someone in her past who had been very abusive to her, and she was absolutely convinced that I was doing all the things that she had experienced before, and that she had to protect herself and protect her son from me. And so she ended our relationship. She ended my relationship with her son very abruptly, without um, any warning. So it was just a very intense experience that um, that that's what prompted me to be moving back to the Halifax area last September. And then I was in a transition place for 7 months, and now I've landed in this place. So this is the first time that I've actually been able to be safe and secure and settled since that very intense eruption that happened in my life. So a twin flame experience is very, very vulnerable. I would suggest more vulnerable than, the breakdown of more conventional love relationships or even a soulmate relationship, just because the connection is so intense. So, the thing that is interesting that I thought that I would share with you is that part of my business is that I host a networking group called the Blue Lotus Network. So we meet every month, and people are developing connection, able to refer business to each other. You know, like a traditional networking group, business networking group. And so, part of the function of a networking group is building your network of connections so that if you need something, you're likely to go to the person in your networking group. Or if you come across someone who needs something, then you can say, I think, you could check out this person who I know who's in, my network, in my community. So, you know, this is, the traditional reason for networking groups. So my assuming that the people that were joining my networking group were um, doing what normally happens in building your networking community. There was somebody in my networking group who was an expert on twin flames and did twin flame counseling. And so, in my mind, I had been playing out this scenario for the last 7 months that, as soon as things got more settled and grounded, that could be really helpful to have a consultation with this person, to get, some perspective by somebody who has expertise in twin flame relationships. I had already done a lot of healing on my own, you know, calling on my own healing resources, things that I could do, soul art journeys, seeking out spirit guides. So I'd done, a lot of healing on my own, but I had had it in my mind that because this is such a unique kind of relationship, it would be good to consult with an expert, see if there's any other greater perspective, because, I had questions like, well, everybody out there says that, that they so want to be with their twin flame and how important it is to unite with your twin flame. And here I had to break up with my twin flame. Like the relationship, it's not one that could work this lifetime. And in fact was, had become abusive. And so my experience wasn't fitting in with, the sort of general mystique that I had been hearing about twin flame relationships. So I thought it would be good. And also, I had questions like, will I ever be able to love someone again? Is it always going to be measured against the intensity of the love that I experienced in this relationship? So I had these things in mind. And so the interesting thing that happened is that this this woman, she first of all, she unsubscribed from my email list with the reason I'm no longer interested in what you have to offer. And I just thought, huh, I thought we had a relationship. I would expect, that you would like at least send me an email and say, sort of what's happened for you. I didn't expect a relationship to be shifting by giving a reason for unsubscribing from your email list. For me, I mean, like I've met with this woman numbers of times. She's been part of the founding of Blue Lotus Network. She contributed. So this is what was just like mystifying to me. And so, I emailed her and I said, I really would have expected, given that we had a relationship, that, that you would have, sent me an email and let me know what was going on, that I wouldn't be finding this out through an unsubscribe. And so she emailed back and, she said, well, I had let you know several months ago that I was exploring other directions. And so she said, I'm sure that, you're finding that the people you're connecting with are different now. And so, I'm moving on. And so I experienced shock. I experienced pain. I took time to look at what was happening for me, and I realized that a big part of this was because I felt she was an expert that would understand the depth and nature of a twin flame relationship. And in my mind, I had been working towards a place soon of reaching out to her for a consultation. And so this felt like a freezing wind over a gentle new little sprout of a plant. It froze me. Really, I experienced it in an incredibly deep way, and I was like, wow, why am I experiencing this in such a powerfully painful, shocking way? And so I realized that I'd had this going on in my head, that I was going to be meeting with her. And I also realized that it's helpful that she had discerned that energetically we're not a match to be connecting with each other. Um, Really helpful for me to realize that before opening up to a vulnerable consultation with her. So that was a gift that she was prompted to, suddenly do this. And I realized that if she had been more direct months ago and said, I'm really feeling drawn in other directions, and I'm not seeing us collaborating, or, basically I'm moving away from our relationship, that would have been hugely helpful to me at the time. And the other thing that I realized is that I can reach out and search out for a twin flame expert, which I did. I did a Google search on twin flame breakup counseling, and I found this coach that specializes in that. And so I signed up for a class with her, and I am doing the class, and I'm really enjoying this class. Like, it's enjoyable, but also I just have this thirst for learning this, and also looking at my experience and being able to transform it even more into like a real positive. Like, for instance, one thing that this coach says is that the things that were ignited in you from the twin flame relationship, you can now be bringing those forward and living them in your life. So, I mean, I love how she really sees all the good things that come out of experience like this. And another helpful thing is, she said, if you look at the perspective of having had many lives with your twin flame, and that this one life is not one that you're going to be spending together, how do you feel about that? And I realized, in that perspective, it could be fine. Like, each of us have our soul lessons for this life, and it does not involve being together. And in the broad spectrum of our connection, that can be just fine. So I'm sharing this story because I think that all of us can have these experiences of somebody's, maybe saying something shocking or leaving our life in a way that we, find abrupt and shocking. And it can be really helpful to take that time, like I did, to look at, you know, why are you having this experience, and what could this be meaning for you and opening up for you? And so, really, like, I am really surprised at the energy that's been unleashed in me because of this experience and engaging this course that I'm doing with the other twin flame coach. I'm actually really, really surprised at so much having been opened up and just, coming back to life. It's been amazing. And so I did send, like, after I did my processing, I did send an email to the woman who had been in my network, and saying, that thank you for the unsubscribe, and also taking the time to write this email explaining what happened for you. And, just to say that if you are moving away from a relationship with someone that you know, especially someone who's a twin flame, it could probably be helpful to be much more direct and maybe abrupt, and just let them know that you're moving away from the relationship. And I shared that I had experienced pain and shock about this. And I said, doing something like that would, really reduce, pain or shock that somebody might experience. So, and I didn't ask her to reply or to process. I said, I've done my processing. I'm good. And I found somebody, that is really helping me with my experience. So, just to say, sometimes things can come to us and seem like, like the end of the world. But maybe they're the greatest gift that could happen. So, That was a vulnerable thing to share, taking a bit of a risk sharing it, but I'm hoping that that will pay off by opening up some new doors for you, if not now, then in the future, for how you regard, curveballs coming into your life, and how they could be the very best thing for you. So that's it for the community updates this week. Hope you enjoy them. And I also hope that you have a great week next week. I'll post a video or two. I'll schedule them ahead of time so that you are, not completely without my voice and my presence. And also, it could be an opportunity to take a look back through the past videos and maybe just maybe revisit ones that stand out for you. Let your heart guide you. So I am wishing you a beautiful week, and I will look forward to connecting with you in the next video.